Welcome, sweethearts. Hmm. I'd like to talk this morning about detachment. And it is not really the mind's idea of detachment, but it is the doorway into freedom. So we come in with all of these conditioned attachments of what I need. And when we are receiving what I need, we feel great. And when we are not receiving what I need, we feel miserable. And it oscillates. Situations oscillate. But this is a time of great acceleration. This is a time of great importance. This is a time of great transformation. And if you are going to transform and elevate to the true consciousness that you are, it requires leaving behind conditioned attachments. It's not leaving behind love. True love has no attachment. It is not dependent on an outcome. It does not get pulled back to how it is for me. Love is the nature of the self. And the only way you can know the self in an unbroken way is if you are ready to have the divine clear your throat. When you're ready to have the divine clear your throat, you're unattached. You don't care what it looks like at satsang. You're just making a lot of noise and it's just what's playing. Oh. This journey is a process of freedom from all attachment. And what is attachment? Attachment is seeing the one relationship, which is the relationship with the beloved, as relationship with another. And as soon as you see it as a relationship with another, it's going to replicate karma. And there's going to be issues and tensions. There's going to be attachments to outcome, which sometimes will satisfy you and sometimes won't. But this is about stripping of attachment. And what stripping of attachment really means is stripping of the misunderstanding that there is any relationship other than the relationship with the beloved. So you realize every pawn, every player is being moved by the hand that is the source of your devotion. What may look what may look at times as hell is working detachment, being detached from illusion that you are bound in time and form, and your happiness is based on the karmic predicament getting what it wants. But in this journey, which at times is rigorous, we are pushed. We are pushed to see the truth. The truth is, there is not this one and that one. There is not this situation and that situation. There is not me and other. It is all God's play. And God has created this play so that God could experience itself. It can only experience itself in the moment. It can only experience itself in the moment. So the working is the working to be detached with the mind's idea of a future moment or a prior moment, everything that has created separation, the illusion of separation out of the majesty of God. And how does it work? The things your conditioned mind is most aggressively attached to is worked. It's worked because every attachment is just a concept. Concept may say, I love this person. Why doesn't this person not love me back the way I want? But love, true love, is unattached. It has no attachment. It's not about a situation. It's not about a relationship with another separate individual. It's waking you up to the realization that the only thing that is here is the relationship with God. It's the only thing that is here. And every movement that feels like mine and every movement that feels like another's is all being ordained so that you can free yourself from the conditioned attachments that arise out of the experience of being separate. In this moment, there is no past, spoken over and over again. So obvious in this moment, there is no past, but the conditioned mind is attached to the story of the past, which creates the experience of who we are. But this is about being detached from the misery of separation and thus realizing the grace of unification, the grace of God, the grace of the self. The vast majority, from my perspective, of people in the spiritual arena are searching for personal happiness. This has nothing to do with personal happiness. This has to do with happiness itself. Happiness itself is recognized immediately when you realize the relationship is the eternal relationship with the beloved, and there is no other relationship that ever presents itself. It will lure you. It will lure you into all of your tendencies. But this is the wisdom for the one who is convicted, has this conviction to let go of false attachments which only bind you to an illusion of separation, which is this endless roller coaster. The love is not bound. The light of the self is not bound. Our mind says, I'm trying so hard, and it remains elusive. The conditioned mind is so impatient. That's part of its attachment for pleasure. This is a rare journey, and this is a charged time where everything is transforming, and in that everything is coming up. The nature of the screen is changing because we are in a time of great power. If you are aligned with the attachments of the mind, it is going to be misery. If you are surrendered to receiving the wisdom of detachment, to the mind's ideas of what I need, then this is the most graced possible time to be alive, because everything is being elevated. The polar opposites are being what is the word? Accentuated. That's the word. Thank you, Priscilla. Accentuated. But this accentuation of polar opposites is happening because the energy of Shakti on this plane of existence has intensified, which is grace, if you're on this path, which is grace if you are ready, and it is hell if you're identified with conditioned desires, because all of that is being broken apart. All of the sense of the known is being broken apart. And one of the fundamental desires is to know what's coming next. But at this time, for so many, the sense of knowing what's coming next has been broken apart. And if you are attached to knowing that, you experience misery. If you realize you are in the one relationship with the beloved, this fuel is setting you eternally free. No one can give it to you. No one can give it to you. There has never been a time like this, from my sense, ever in the past, where the energy is so charged, where the acceleration is so rapid. And in this acceleration, what happens for the egoic mind is the attachments come on the screen, in your face, with such great challenge and such great opportunity. You know, every moment that you have tasted beauty has been a moment where you've known nothing. If you know something, you're lost in your mind. You cannot taste the beauty. Yet the mind is terrified of knowing nothing from its perspective over time. But this is all a mirage. The gift of wakeful consciousness is here and now. The time is now. The possibility has never been so powerful. So this is a journey of letting go of the conditioned mind's attachments or needs, because the conditioned mind's needs are false. It's a mirage. Because the mind believes it, going through that process is intense. But the only reason that going through that process is intense is because the mind believes something mistakenly. Being nothing is being everything. Being free of attachment is the recognition of the love in the only relationship that exists in the play of creation, and that is relationship with you and the beloved. There is never, ever, ever any other relationship than the relationship with you and the beloved. Your mind can say, yeah, I get this. But when you get it, you're free. And from the point of having a conceptual understanding to the point of being free is a huge distance. It's a huge distance. It makes sense when it's spoken. There have been windows that have made you realize that this is true. But living a life where your commitment is unbroken to the one relationship that will never leave you. This is the relationship with everything. There's nothing particular about it. It's the relationship with life. It's the relationship with love. It's the relationship with yourself. So the opportunity, the incredibly powerful opportunity that is being offered now in a greater way than ever before, even though the mind may say this time is so challenging, but the opportunity is letting go of the misery, because that's what attachment is. Attachment arises out of the illusion of being separate. The separate one is just a story. It's just a conditioned identity that you have come here to release. And the way it is released is by realizing. It's not by doing, it's by realizing that the thinker and the chooser is imagined, that everything is coming out of the divine, that the divine is in you, it is in everything, it is in everyone all the time. It's not something your mind can know. It lives only in this moment. So the calling, the asking, the hunger is to join me in reality, not just during formal satsang, but that the life becomes a commitment to join me in what has no attachment to anything. And then what you discover is that all conditioned attachment is an attempt to get love. And the irony is that the love that is sought is your own nature when you are ready to let go of the conditioned attachments. The realization is you are the love that you seek. The realization is every relationship is the relationship with the beloved. The realization is the form is an appearance, but there is a soul inside that form and emanating out this pure light that is connected with every other soul. And the connection is the taste of love. And the whole confluence of it is the taste of the beloved. And the offering is now. It's now. There's no time to waste. It's now. And yet, at the same time, there is this equal need for patience, because this happens in the timing of the wisdom of the beloved. The karmic attachments have been built over lifetimes. It is a process unraveling this. It is simply to realize no matter what the experience, the movement is coming out of this love, not for something temporary, not for a temporary satisfaction, but for the eternal nature of the freedom that you are. The eternal nature of the freedom that you are, which then has this projected overlay of someone in time and location, three-dimensional, five-sensory experience. It is just an overlay. It is so unbelievably challenging to the conditioned mind until the surrender gets to a point where it's not what matters. My life is no longer what matters. My life is the primary conditioned attachment. What matters is life itself. And life itself is in love with itself. It's alive within itself. Hundreds of thousands of years after the earth disintegrates, consciousness, your consciousness, remains. It remained before the Ice Age. It remained before time. It is always here. You can say, I'm trying so hard in this lifetime. It's this tiny slice that has this potential to set you free. And when you are set free, you ignite the whole field of consciousness. You ignite the beauty of the relationship with the beloved. You ignite the passion of creation. You ignite the aliveness of living in this moment. So there has been a lot of passion this morning. What does the passion come out of? It comes out of burning. There was a lot of burning this morning. But out of the burning arises the passion for all humanity. Burning is not a problem. It is what ignites the passion for all humanity. It's not to say it is not a challenge, but it is to say that it is not a problem. And in its wake, all that remains is the one true relationship. Not the relationship with someone, but the relationship with love itself, which is unattached, needs nothing. And this is why it offers all the nectar, all the riches, all the beauty. We are all warriors in this play of life. And as a true warrior, what you do is you give up your own personal idea of what I need. You offer it up. You offer it up. And in offering it up, you discover something that your mind could never understand. It is then that you receive what it is you came here for, what it is that everyone is longing for, whether they know it or not. The heart is longing for home. Home is now. Now is tasted when the conditioned attachments of the mind are humbly let go of. You realize nobody did this to me, nobody did that to me. I didn't do anything to anyone. It is all the play of God carrying you through everything to free and unravel every belief. This is the journey. This is our journey. This is our journey. Don't know what else to say. The passion for your freedom is so charged. It's so charged. It's so possible. It's not only possible, it's actually the way it is. You just need to let conditioned attachments go and realize there is only one relationship offered by the grace of creation. And that is that the love of the self can experience itself through the majesty of all of the flavors of creation, which are all inseparably connected. Inseparably connected. If I could take your hand and lead you down this so you realized it through and through, and there was no longer issue in the mind with it, it is what I would do. But it's all up to you. I can offer the energy, passion of love for you. I can offer you the recognition that you are not a you, but God. And God is reaching out to God, and it's so passionate. God is reaching out to the aspect of God that has forgotten its nature. And the doorway into the realization of the nature requires, from the mind's perspective, everything. Everything. What is everything? It is this moment. What is this moment? It is eternity. What is eternity? It is on the unchanging nature of love. And in the grace of creation, the self can taste itself in my relationship with God, in everything, everywhere. You know, day after day, this offering can feel how slowly things are getting in more deeply. It's not the nature of content. It's the nature of connection, of love connecting with itself in all of its wild passion. So the offer is to join me, not to join me as in stepping up and being at satsang, but to join me in the life where you realize what is being offered, where even in the times of great distress, there is a sense of reverence and receiving and recognition of what is going on. This is called the letting go of attachment, which is the letting go of chaos, which is the letting go of deception, and the taste of the beauty of what remains.